So hi everyone, it's time for your weekly review of True Blood Season 5. And I'm actually really pleased with myself that I've been keeping up with these reviews because I've tried to do it in the past but I just never have. And yeah, last night I managed to get a link to watch it, so I'm just going to give my thoughts and whatnot. So of course we're going to start with Suki. And actually I really liked Suki in this episode. I thought she was really funny. I thought I thought she was charming. She just made me laugh. She reminded me of myself in that she was very pragmatic. She just wanted to get it over and done with, and she didn't really care per se. Well, she did care, but she didn't really care. As in, she was just like, you know what, I'm so tired of being object of desire for everyone who's a murderer and a psychopath. I just want to get this over and done with, get back home and get into bed because I'm so tired. And that just made me laugh. And I didn't really have any issues with this episode pretty much at all. Then we have Alcide. Can't really say much about Alcide. He was just going along while they were looking for Russell and whatnot. And then I liked the guy who was leading Suki with his thoughts. I thought he was really sweet, but I felt so bad for him. One of the things that I didn't understand is why they left all those people who were chained up. Why they left them hanging. I mean, wouldn't you cut them down and kind of let them run out and escape kind of thing? That's something I'd do personally, something that I'd like someone to do for me if I was in that situation. But I don't know, maybe they'll solve that next episode or whatever. And then, you have Sam. I forgot to talk about Sam last episode and Lafayette. I was really shocked. I was like, oh my goodness, he's being shot. What the hell? This whole thing with him and Luna, I'm not really feeling it, but I'm not really not feeling it. It's just, I don't know. There's not enough screen time for me to develop any feelings about this sort of relationship. So I'm pretty much indifferent on it, but I thought it was sad that Luna came out and, they were, well, I don't think Sam's going to die, but obviously Luna's dead, and then Emma kind of shifted and ran off. So I think he's going to look for Emma. Then he's going to have his whole storyline about finding the people responsible in those masks. And I'm sure, were those Obama masks? Because I was laughing. I was like, oh, that's so funny. But yeah, I think this whole anti-shifter thing, I think they're gonna perhaps develop it into sort of a theme for next season, because in the books the werewolves and the shifters have a kind of great revelation like the vampires did, where they came out to the world. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, I think he's gonna look for Emma, and then he's gonna try and find out who's behind the mask kind of thing, and then he's gonna deal some serious damage. And I hope he gets his revenge, because I do like Sam. He's sweet. And then we have Lafayette, of course. This whole thing, obviously, Jesus is coming back, even if it's just as a disfigured head. And obviously we saw Lafayette's mother, and that was really interesting. She apparently has a sort of witchy thing in her as well. I think she was in the asylum. I think that's where she was. Yeah, or I can't remember if she was in the asylum or if she lives at home. But yeah, she saw Jesus as well. She didn't really seem phased that he was a head on her bedside table. She was like, oh, I'll tell Lafayette that I saw you. Obviously, she could understand what Jesus is saying, but Lafayette can't. But yeah, one of the things that irritates me is the fact that they're kind of turning Lafayette and Terry and whatever into these bad characters who are becoming evil people without really knowing it. And it's interesting in the sense that they do get that kind of, they're trying to do justice to all the characters and give them their own story arcs and whatnot, but I wish they wouldn't kind of destroy them as much, if you get me. So yeah. And then we have Terry. That was kind of interesting, the whole Ifrit thing. I was kind of not offended, but weirded out by the fact that the woman that they killed, obviously you could tell she was a Muslim woman. And obviously I know it's haram, forbidden kind of thing I'm not sure if it is haram actually, but I know it's like frowned upon to kind of portray Islam on TV kind of thing, to act it out. But you could tell she was in a Middle Eastern country. She had a headscarf on. You could tell she was a Muslim. Um, and I was kind of irritated that they had her at the end saying, "Oh, may this demon come back on you." It just wasn't sensitive. I don't think it's very religiously sensitive, because I tell you now, I understand she was angry, she was really pissed off, but most of my friends are Muslims, and they would never, like, that kind of whole like demon thing scares the hell out of them. So I don't know, maybe it's her as an individual, but I'd hate to think that, even though yeah it's a TV show, I hate to think that people would look on her as an example of what people are like in the Islamic community, when that's not the case at all. And by the way, no, I'm not a Muslim, I'm actually Jewish, but I'm just sticking up for people, because I understand, or I think I understand, I hope I understand, how the whole Islamic Muslim thing works. So yeah, and then we yeah, this whole Ifrit thing. I don't know. It's just an extra side story. I don't think it's really interesting. I'm not really interested in Terry in this storyline. I don't really care. I think his friend's an idiot. I think it was sad that the guy got killed at the end. You know, he was just very wary. He was just trying to protect himself. But obviously, this is True Blood and nothing can ever be happy. So obviously he died, and that was, you know, sad and everything. And then we have, well, yeah, Andy. Don't really care. I only like him in this sense when he's on screen with Holly, because I do like Holly. But this whole thing about where he's like, "Oh, I slept with that angel," and she's like, I mean, not that angel, that fairy, but it's not going to ruin me and Holly. Where you can tell it is going to ruin him and Holly, because otherwise it wouldn't be mentioned, I don't think. But yeah, I hope Holly gets a good man, because she deserves one, I think. And I actually really hope they kind of show her more, because I think she's funny. She's a good character. Arlene, again, just a secondary, probably a tertiary character actually. Not really involved in anything. They're still not explain the whole Renee thing, and I'm like, hey, what the hell? You know, it's kind of weird that they kind of put the shift from her to Terry all of a sudden. I don't know why that is. I think that they should both be given justice and screen time. And then you have Jason, and this for me was really interesting. I mean, Jason up until now hasn't really done anything for me. It's just this whole, oh well, you know, I was molested. Well, not molested, but I had sex with a teacher. I was sort of groomed into it, kind of thing. But he wasn't. It wasn't really a bad thing, because he kind of like. It's not like he didn't dislike it. No, it's not like he disliked it. I'll put it that way. But yeah, we saw their parents for the first time, and that whole Christmas morning scene, I was like, oh, what on earth? But yeah, that whole thing was just interesting, I guess. But again, they're turning Jason into this kind of hateful character, and I get that they're not trying to dress vampires up as being, you know, nice, as being lovely, as being. I think it's weird, because vampires are both protagonists in terms of Bill and Eric, and Tara and Pam, and Jessica, but they're also the enemy. So I think it's interesting they have that kind of duality. I don't think that's the right word going on. So yeah, and then we have. I think he's gonna become a vampire killer, and that's gonna irritate me, because I don't think they're really gonna get anywhere. I think they're just gonna have Jason like having this vampire thing going on, and then he's gonna come to some like really weird conclusion, some sort of catharsis, and then he's gonna stop it, and then it's just gonna be completely pointless, because he hasn't learned anything from the time he was chained up and kidnapped by Crystal, the time he was raped repeatedly and stuff like that. they didn't like learn anything from that. So just I think Jason's pretty much redundant. But as far as carrying his and Suki's storyline on, I think that's good. And then we have Jessica. It was interesting for her and Tara to kind of get together and be like, you know what, this is how it feels to be a vampire. You could tell that Jessica's kind of coming to terms with what she is and she likes it. She's kind of getting Tara on the same side as well, and that's good. I think they could be good friends, but I don't know. Actually, yeah, I don't really like Jessica as a character. I think she's a bit of an idiot, to be honest. But I think she's helping Tara, and for Tara's sake, I really do like that. Um, and Tara, oh, I love Tara. The way that Pam looked at Tara this episode was so hot. I was like, oh yeah, get it on. Because that was just such a hot look. I'm totally shipping Pam and Tara. So yeah, I really do like Tara. She very much suits the vampire thing. She looks really good. She acts it really well, and just all the props to her. And Pam, excellent as usual, on form, what you'd expect from her. But I'm hoping to see something kind of flower from her and from the relationship between her and Tara. And then we have Hoyt, who's kind of like, oh, I'm not good enough, and whatever, it's just Hoyt, who cares. And then, oh yeah, we have this whole Russell Edgington thing, like with Bill and Eric, Suki, Alcide, and this other guy trying to find Russell Edgington. They have like a couple of hours before the iPhone app gets used, and Bill and Eric become like blood dust, whatever. And this is interesting for me. Like, I know they're not going to die. I mean, they can't die. They won't die. I know they won't, but still. To see Russell Edgington, and now obviously he's back in power, he's kind of got all that strength back. It was actually, like, not a lot of things freaked me out, but to see the way Russell Edgington was kind of like, when he was pulled out of the ground, I was like going, oh, that's disgusting. Like, he actually looked really gross, and I was like, oh, what on earth. But yeah, and then obviously it's all going to be about killing him. And then hopefully by the end of the season they're going to get rid of him, because even though I think he's a really great villain, I just think that they need to be over and done with. They need something new. They need something invigorating to stop relying on like old kind of past clashes and whatever. Oh yeah, there's been no talk of Godric, and this is irritating me, but Michael McMillan, who plays Steve Newlin, and by the way, I've not seen anything of Steve Newlin in the past few episodes, he said there might be a Godric preview. I don't know. He may be teasing, but personally I think there might be. But yeah, I'm just going to wrap this up. I think that was it. I can't remember if there was anyone I didn't really talk about. Oh yeah, this whole like Sanguinista thing. Personally, I don't think it was Nora who dug Russell up. I think it was actually Salome, the other main vampire lady in the Authority. I think it was actually her. But I think she had a necklace on. Obviously, you can just take a necklace off and put it back on whenever you want. So yeah, I do think it was her. So yeah, I don't know. That we'll just have to see where that goes. But yeah, this is a short review. I don't really have like much to say, because obviously this episode was very much a cliffhanger for what's going to happen next. It's kind of like a journey, a transition into a kind of like the whole, when everything starts really happening, which is obviously next episode, when Russell does come back to power and he does start causing terror again, whatever he does. So next episode's probably going to be more action packed, and that's going to be really good to see. But yeah, I'm feeling Eric. I'm feeling Bill. Actually, I really do like Bill. I think he's gone through such a transition to season 1 to season 5. I think I love him so much. I hope there's more Godric. This whole Nora thing. I think they kind of, I don't know. I think they need to capitalise on her to make me care about her, because I don't really give a shit about her, to be honest. But you can see Eric's obviously done something that he shouldn't have done by telling someone. But who knows? So yeah. And then I'm loving Pam and Tara. Don't really care about Jessica. This whole Jason thing, whatever. Anyway, I'm just gonna go now because I'm just rambling. So yeah, this is my review, and yeah, I'll see you next week.